How's it going, bro?
Okay.
Welcome to London.
No problem.
It's Bruce, isn't it? This is the hottest restaurant in London right now.
You're short.
Yeah.
I'm following your lead.
Cod's head for breakfast.
Is he?
Oh, oh, oh. So how are you guys feeling?
We're feeling good. We're a little bit dead from our trip in Latvia. We just come back from Riga.
Yeah.
5 days touring around there. In what we do with Topjaw, we travel the world. We've done a lot of the Paris, the Amsterdam,
Yeah.
the Rome, the big names, the New York, and so now we're trying to turn our attention to like the lesser known places.
Right.
I mean, we chatted about Riga, and you were like, what?
I was like, wait, what did you say?
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Yeah, exactly. And then, like the population is so small, but it's still a major like European city.
Right.
Yeah, so we're going to just travel around now to the lesser known spots.
I like that a lot. Most people, without putting too much thought, you're gonna go to the major cities. You're gonna go to the Amsterdam,
Yeah.
you're gonna go to New York, you're gonna whatever. And I'm sure there's still so much to discover in those
Absolutely,
cities.
yeah.
Like even in London this time, I'm discovering more new things. But finding that sort of path, off the beaten path it's gotta be fun and fulfilling. Am I correct in saying that?
Because with Topjaw, we've always, even the places that we have visited, like the major places, we've never done like the top Instagram spots, the main Google reviews.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So we got on here corn ribs, with plum with
Corn
seasoning,
ribs.
and a fresh lime just on the side just to squeeze over top.
Thank you, man.
You legend.
So these are amazing, right? And I really feel that Fallow.
That accent almost sounds Canadian.
It is slightly, yes it is. I'm from Toronto.
Oh, my man. God, thank you for bringing me here. I feel at home here.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Pleasure. So okay, let's talk about here. Why are we here then? Because you guys know your stuff. So for you to pick this place, Fallow, out of all of London, and London is big. I feel like London gets bigger every time I come here.
16,000 restaurants in London.
16,000 restaurants.
Yeah.
You picked Fallow. Why are we here?
Yeah, 1 out of 16,000. So Fallow's been open for about 18 months. It's a hot restaurant right now in London.
So I'm not getting in unless I'm here with you guys.
Yeah.
It's fine. You can say
before
it.
opening, like we are now. Yeah, that's how we get in. It's run by two guys. They're in their early 30s. They're doing British cooking, but in like in just a very elevated, contemporary way, and they're using everything. So they're like super sustainable. They cure tuna tails that would normally get thrown away to grate onto food for seasoning. We're going to have some of their cabbage, and they use the whole cabbage. We're going to have some cod's head, which is normally thrown away. So they take a lot of produce that is normally just sort of waste, and they make it the star of the show. And I love that.
Wow. It almost sounds like very Michelin star type of.
But more accessible.
Yeah, it's
more
not
accessible.
too fancy, is it?
Yeah.
It's very accessible. You can come and have a good time here with a bunch of mates and just keep it casual.
Right.
We had
I
our
like that.
Topjaw Christmas party on that table there.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, so you really like this place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, do you know a
Yes.
bit about this?
So these are corn ribs, which everyone reads that and they're like, what the hell is corn ribs?
Yeah.
But it's just corn, like sweet corn, in like a spicy seasoning, and now everybody's doing it. But these guys were first, and these are the best.
Boy, why does it smell like ribs?
Mate, it's really barbecuey, like loads of umami from the humble sweet corn.
Okay.
Yeah, I had these before, Tyrone.
No. I'll be honest, I saw it on the menu just before we sat down, and I was like,
Ooh. So you eat them like a...
oh, like ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
Don't need the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a trip to A&E.
I feel like somebody feed Phil right now. You know what? I feel so bad because our camera ops, they love food as well and can't eat this yet, but I'm gonna save you
We'll
some.
save you some.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were bringing us
This is
3 of
rough.
each.
And I had to wait very patiently to get all the filming done before I can tuck in, so I get his sloppy seconds.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So tell me about Topjaw in terms of like how it all came together, because obviously you are you're in production,
Yeah.
detail, and then you're a supermodel. Or which one's a supermodel? I can't even tell who's a supermodel.
Supermodel, I like it.
I haven't done modelling for a very long time.
We shared a studio space probably 7-8 years ago.
Okay.
And Jesse had a background in presenting and modelling, and he was great in front of the camera. And it was a time where I was kind of looking for a creative outlet and to try a little passion project. So we set up Topjaw with sort of no big plans, just very happy to see kind of where it went, but knew we wanted to do something in the food scene. It's such, such an exciting thing to get stuck in with in London. And it kind of just evolved from there, really. It was, oh, here we go again.
So, next for you, we have here our mushroom parfait, some marinated shiitake mushrooms, some pickled shallots, and then on top you have some lovely lion's mane mushrooms that we actually grow in-house here.
Yeah, mate, they have
Gorgeous.
They have like an Amsterdam-style lab downstairs.
Amsterdam style.
Honestly, it's like proper mushroom lab.
Right.
So you go downstairs, crikey, we got
Oh
one
wait,
each.
these are for each of us?
Jesus.
Jeez Louise.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
So,
Very welcome.
yeah, again on the whole sort of like sustainability thing, they grow their own mushrooms in their lab downstairs with all this purple light in these like bags, so it's all growing off.
Yeah.
I mean, try and get down there. It's quite weird.
You understand why I said Michelin star though? Because of the, I guess, the
Innovation.
the
Yeah.
innovation, the science, the, you know what I mean, the ingenuity, like all of that, right? Yes, it's successful and that's great,
I
but
don't want this place to get a Michelin star because then the price will double.
right, fair enough.
And even
right?
harder to get a table.
Yeah.
So then I'm definitely not getting it.
No.
But they're not. That's not. I was chatting to Will, like one of the owners, and he was saying that's not what they're setting out to do. They
Right.
want to just do really, really very good food, but without the sort of the pretense. Really
Corn
good service,
ribs.
great
I'm
wine.
so sorry, but that flavor that's lingering in my mouth right now is incredible. So then you want a creative outlet. You've got this guy that looks the part and has the skills.
And we're best buds. We just want to hang out
Yeah.
more.
And best buddies, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Being in London, it makes it that much easier, no?
Totally.
Tell me about the food scene here, because I mean, I keep on hearing about the Indian food, but then there's like the updated Indian food, and there's it seems like a lot. So, and there's 16,000 restaurants, so I
Yeah.
guess a great place to start.
So with Indian food, we did a series we have on Topjaw is we try and eat around the world without leaving London.
Love it.
So we did an episode on India, and we featured an old school like curry house in Brick Lane. That's this road in London, in East London, and you think how are these guys in business, because they're just bang 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 curry houses, but they're all slightly different, and people have their preference, and people will argue it out over what's their favourite. There are this many curry houses on Brick Lane, but then you have like the Michelin star Gymkhana, which is like Indian food, Michelin star style, and then a Cricket, which is like Indian small plate street food style. So yeah, I mean, London's got everything.
Yeah.
It really has everything. Yeah.
So, and at what point did you guys realize, okay, you know what? London's got everything. Not only that it's got everything, it's got really good stuff, but let's spread it out a little bit. Let's go to, what did you say, Riga?
Yeah.
Like, what made you want to, take Topjaw around the world a little bit
I think
more?
it's because we wanted to grow it and experience, have amazing experiences around the world. But if you're kind of making like London guides, your audience is
You're
very
limited
much
to-
only people that kind of come to London. Whereas now we're doing the kind of global thing. It kind of opens up our demographic of people to be much wider, and has allowed us to like grow a real nice following now. And
We spent our first 4 years, just doing London, and our growth, it was like quite pathetic. Like, at the time, we're like, whoa, 10,000 subs,
Yeah.
But actually, to make something serious, you need to be a bit bigger. And then we first did 48 Hours in Paris. That was our first like film outside of London.
Right.
And then we suddenly were like, we had that moment where our phones were going bzz, 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 bzz,
That's always a good indicator, right?
and we were like, oh my, right, yeah, because now we're just making an entire film about Paris. So anybody who's in Paris, out of Paris, like you've just been, our film is then relevant for such a bigger audience. And then we had that sort of like, okay, we need to do that. So then we went to Bangkok next, and then Amsterdam, and then
So what is it that you're looking for when you're looking at a city, or you're looking at a place and being like, okay, because I love the part that you mentioned earlier where it's like, we don't want to just do all the things that are already on Instagram, already on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because that for me was a little bit annoying when we went to some of like the TikTok places in Paris, and then like the lineup is so long, and then by the time you get it, and I'm not like, this is the truth. The truth is, by the time you get it, they have to pump it out so quickly that you kind of lose the reason why people were going there in the first place, because it's just, it just doesn't have that same love, the personability. Like I think foods, you got to take your time with the food. And so how do you then determine what it is that you're going to make?
We like to do a range, don't we? You know, from your super accessible grab and go, you know, fast food to the higher end like treat meal out. And before we go to a city, we want to find out what everyone else's favorite restaurants are there and what the locals, you know, where the locals love to go. So we kind of put it out to our following and see where they go. We reach out to like local kind of food content creators and, you know, see where they go, what's, you know, where do the influencers go, where do the TikTokers go, and we try to stay away from that. And we kind of, you know, together with our producer, Helen, we try and, you know, come up with an amazing varied list of like all these different sort of styles of restaurant that excite us. That
chefs.
Oh yeah, chatting to chefs.
Chefs know where to go. So quite often, like with our Lisbon guide, we had our plan, but we had lots of time within it. We go there, and in the first place we've sort of set up, we start chatting to the chef. Right, where do you go? Where do you love to eat when you're not working? And then they'll tell you somewhere you've never heard of, that you've never seen on TikTok, never seen, you know, and then.
And that's almost always the case.
And then normally they're
let
friends
me get some
with
more of this before he takes it away. This whole mushroom parfait, ladies and gentlemen.
And then normally like they're friends with the chef from that restaurant, so they then call their buddy and say, these guys from Topjaw are coming down. And that's when we find the best places, really.
I love that. How much of a trip do you think, like when you're going to a new city, how much of a trip do you think should be unplanned? Because like that's the part that I love as well. Like walking down the street, let's say you had something planned, you went out, it was great. I got the guide from you guys, I go to Fallow, you know, me and my lady or me and my boys, we have a good time. And then as we're walking down the street, we notice a bunch of people looking like they're having a good time here. Yeah. I like room in my trip to do that. How much of the trip you think should be unplanned? Like room for just the city to offer
when
itself?
we go to film, or just for people when they
in
travel?
general, yeah.
I think you want a couple of spots planned each day when you're going with friends or whatever, and then freestyle for the rest of it. It's probably a bit of a 50-50, isn't it, I think?
Depends on the place. You
And
know, like London, if you try and do like an unplanned Saturday in London,
You ain't doing nothing.
It's like New York, right? It's difficult because there is such a weight of people that the places that you can then just stumble into probably aren't going to be the great. You might get lucky. You might get lucky on a new opening that people don't really know about, but in general, because of the freedom of information and you know, people know about places.
You know what? It's funny because I have this idea that I could just get in anywhere, but you're right. You do want to have it's important to have
in Riga
guides.
you can get in anywhere.
Yeah. In where?
In Riga.
For sure. What about the rest of UK? Because one of the things that I've been enjoying is getting to see parts of Britain that I was telling him off camera about Bath, and I was just like, whoa. Is there any parts of Britain, UK that outside of London that you guys genuinely co-sign and think is a gem?
Have you been to the Cotswolds? I mean, for anyone in the UK.
Yeah.
That's obvious, right?
Right.
But
I don't even know what that is.
Cotswolds is an area. Wilde's actually from the Cotswolds, but it's an area of the UK about an hour and a half outside of London. It's not a city. It's an area.
Okay.
But if you wanted to see real Britain, like real UK, Cotswolds is great.
That's it.
Or the Lake District. Woo! The Lake District's amazing.
What's that like?
So it's a district full of lakes. So right up north.
Oh, I just saw a poster for that, but I didn't understand what I was looking at. The Lake District, yeah.
Yeah. It's the only 3 Michelin star restaurant in the UK is in the Lake District.
Serious.
Which is kind of weird, but
wow.
And it's beautiful. Like in the summer, and if you're into driving, the driving roads or walking, and you have not mountains, but like very big hills that then have these valleys, these lakes and stuff. But in terms of cities, to have like a city break like you've done in Bath.
So as we were sort of coming out the COVID times, but before we could travel abroad, we did like a UK tour with Topjaw. So we hit up probably like 10 cities that some we had been to before, some we hadn't, and that was pretty special actually. Like to to kind of see what amazing food scenes and what cities like York kind of had to offer that we hadn't been to before, and seeing the beauty.
It's so funny because I feel like that happened to a lot of us. Like I started traveling within my province a lot more when that was what was available, and I found so many gems, like genuine places that I was just like blown away. I'm like, this is an hour drive, and I've never been here. It's like I just feel so silly. But I'm glad that, I mean, as much as that time was tough, I'm glad that there was some positives like that, for sure.
Totally.
Talk to me about, like, I guess the dynamics of Topjaw. Like for myself, I've got a camera crew and a whole team of producers, and it can be a lot on some days. It's just
you have it pretty good. Yeah.
I'm super blessed.
You're not carrying a bag of batteries around.
Right.
Willy-nilly.
Neither are you.
What is that? You're like, he's not the one.
I said that, then I was suddenly like, shit, I don't actually do that.
You're like, Will's like, shut up, that's not you. So tell me about the dynamics of the show and where it is now and why it is the way it is, why you love it, what you're hoping to expand to, if need be.
It is just Will and I. And we have tried with a bigger crew.
Yeah.
But when it's just Will with a camera and me, it is just me talking to my best bud. And if you introduce, and look, one day, I think we would need to work it out. But when we're traveling around, we're bouncing from place to place, and we want to have an authentic experience. Like, it's very difficult when you're taking over half the restaurant with. But when it's just Will and I, and we can move and be discreet, like we are just two normal guests in a restaurant, you just get a much more sort of the rapport between us and the authenticity of the experience.
It's a well-oiled machine now, isn't it? Like, we know, he knows what I need from him, and we kind of almost speak in code with like knowing how to move forward like quite quickly. We can be really discreet. Like, it's quite a big camera now, but it's, there's no big lighting setups, no tripods. It's all like handheld.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've kind of, in the last probably couple of years, we've really like refined the Topjaw style with like the Topjaw look and Jess's presenting and our relationship. So there's like a little GoPro that films me on top of the camera while I'm filming Jesse, so we can kind of have a bit of a conversation, and I can take the mick out of him or guide him in which is, it's really fun, and I think it's quite like unique. I have like a background in film production, so we have a pretty serious camera, and it is, it's a high quality production that's achieved by just like the two of us, and I think that kind of sets us apart quite a lot from kind of what everyone else is up to.
Listen, what I just heard were all the reasons for you to try to preserve that as long as you can, because the truth is, the reason why there's growth and the numbers and the people that are coming back and the unique visitors, a big part of that is that connection, right? Because now what you're showing is, when we're traveling, like, let's say I'm the audience, I'm your audience, I'm watching Topjaw. The truth is, when I travel, I'm not traveling with 6, 7, 8 people. I'm traveling with a friend, I'm traveling with your lady, So what you guys are showing is probably a little bit closer to what the regular person's gonna end up doing in that specific place.
But what also happens is that it's very easy to get carried away. So you go to a cocktail bar, and they suddenly decide they want you to try pretty much every cocktail they can make.
Yep.
And because it's just you two, us two, it's like, okay, why not? And the next morning when you've got to film again at 7 a.m, you're like, Jesus.
Yep.
And if you had a bigger crew keeping you in check, maybe it would be a bit more control.
I can't say I've ever done that with my team, but after work, after work.
Right, this is Hispy cabbage, okay?
Oh, yes.
And it's beautiful, comfy Hispy cabbage. You'd read that and go, whatever. However, This is really remarkable. And the sort of the crispy cabbage that you have on top are the outer leaves that would normally get binned, but they keep them, they chop them up, they deep fry them, season them, and so that's what gives you the crunch on top of the very soft and unctuous.
I'm gonna watch, because I don't even...
What?
I'm like, no, I'm gonna eat it.
You're not into it?
I didn't know how to plate it.
Oh, yeah, a bit like the corn ribs. You don't just sort of put them in whole.
Oh my days, look at the state of this.
Okay. So what is the confit part?
Oh,
Confit is just like the way of cooking, and it just makes it super duper soft. And normally, you get confit duck,
Yeah.
confit chicken, but this is confit cabbage.
Confit cabbage. Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah. You wouldn't expect a cabbage
no.
like that.
What the heck? No, that is really, 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 really good.
Might see if I can get through this one before he takes it away.
You know what I love? I love that you guys have literally referred to each other as best friends maybe 10 times since I've met you.
Well, we're contractually obliged to. So.
No, but that's amazing, because I remember, it wasn't that long ago where there was a narrative of like not doing business with friends, not working with friends. I've never listened to that. I think if I'm going to do business, if we're going to do something that I love, you want to do it with the people that you love, right? Yeah. Is there anything that you guys, any achievements that you guys are like just super proud of so far, or even of each other?
Yeah, we won British Short Film Awards.
Oh yeah.
Best commercial film last year, which was great. There's been a lot of moments just along the way when we're filming and we're in some ridiculous restaurant. We went to Bangkok and we ate in Gagan's restaurant. Gagan. It was
Gagan and.
It was like number one restaurant in Asia. And we kind of met him in the day and he invited us to eat at his kind of chef's table experience. And
no way.
It was on Valentine's Day and it was just like a little... a little like fist bump moment where it's like, wow, this is like special. Like some of the experiences that we have together that like have come off, the back of Topjaw is like proper pinch yourself.
I implore anyone as well, especially when you're traveling, different when you're just hanging out at home or whatever, or in your local area, but when you're traveling, so many of us go into a restaurant or a bar or whatever it is. You go in, keep yourself to yourself, you look at a menu, you speak to your person, you have it, you leave. But there are always going to be, if you're in a good place, there are always going to be people who really care about what they're serving you, the interior, why they're there, to actually open a restaurant or a bar, that's a big deal.
It is, and it's heavy, it's a heavy lift.
Yeah, I mean, this restaurant right here used to be a Planet Hollywood, right? And it just died, which is probably the best thing for it. And then it's turned into this, and those two, it couldn't be more different. Like what was here before and what's here now.
Yeah.
And if you just speak to the people, like speak to the managers or the owners, and be like, "Why are you here? What are you doing?" Just have a 5-minute chat with them. I think it just makes the food taste better, and it makes the experience. And then you come away telling your friends, not just, "Oh, I've gone to this really cool place I saw on TikTok, for example." It's like, "Oh, I know about this place. I know what they're doing with the cabbage leaves they should be throwing away."
Right. And the process, and being able to say like they deep fry it and use it for seasoning, and those things kind of resonate with you.
Yeah, and because what I've sort of taken into my personal life rather than my Topjaw life, is I'll often go into a place and go, I won't look at the menu too much. I'll just say what's great, what should I have, because you're going to know the menu much better than I do.
Right.
It works if you eat everything. If you're like, if you're a bit more fussy or you have dietaries, then it's a bit more difficult. But
I honestly think that is the best way to experience things. Like that's how every time I have a new favorite cocktail, it's because I've gone into a bar and you can always tell the bartenders who really love what they're doing. You can tell by a person's body language they want to make you something. I'm like, okay, take a look at me. What do you think I should drink? What do you? What would you make me? And I've always had a good experience like that. So long as they're willing.
I like the idea of that, but I always go back to a margarita.
I'm good. I can drink anything. I can eat anything.
Same.
So, Yeah, I'm just like, take me on a journey.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I love tasting menus or like Michelin star restaurants, because you're getting what you're given, and you have the preconception that you're going to love it.
Yeah.
But it's also the excitement of being like, okay, what am I getting here? I haven't chosen this, and so you can kind of have that experience in whatever restaurant you go to if you just ask for it.
What I'm a little bit confused about.
What?
Have you guys been to Toronto?
No, we've never
Why
been
not?
to Canada.
What the heck?
I don't know why. It's like, I always say, Canada and Japan are two countries that I've never been to, but I'm desperate to go.
Okay, let me tell you why you gotta come to Toronto. You gotta come to Toronto, and because it is literally the world in one city. So any type of food that exists in the world exists in Toronto, and high level.
Yeah.
Good food, good experiences, good ambiance. You guys gotta come and do Topjaw in Toronto.
It's definitely on the list, isn't it, man?
Absolutely. But it's a sort of, because it is far away, it's a sort of place that we'd want to bounce around.
Yes.
You know, we want to do Toronto, Vancouver,
Toronto, Montreal.
Montreal, yeah.
Oh my God, yes, the old port. Yeah, yeah. I genuinely mean thank you and good to see you again. What?
Yeah.
What?
Next
Yeah.
we have
I need my
hot
phone.
salad and sriracha butter.
Amazing, thank you, man. Yeah, so this is, they've given us a particularly big one, actually. This is their sriracha butter, and they make their own sriracha here, obviously, in-house. And so what you do, I'm gonna try and get this right, because you have to sort of feel it. It's not like a fillet, right? You have to sort of kind of pull the gills and pull out the fish like that.
This is mad. Oh my God.
See, look at that.
There's so much meat. That's
Yeah.
satisfying.
Yeah, there you go. You pull it, and then you got your own little
Did I just salivate on camera? You guys didn't get that kick.
You got your own little pot of sriracha.
And I like that
there.
you said they obviously make their sriracha.
Obviously. They're not buying this in from Sainsbury's.
Obviously, I will.
Yeah.
No messing. Go on after you, Tyrone.
Okay, let's see if I got the
Just get
technique
stuck
down.
in, right?
It's so good.
This is fun.
Yeah, so sort of steer clear of Matey Boy's eye.
Can you eat the eye?
You don't want to eat the eye.
I think we ate the eye at the Christmas party, didn't we?
Go on, come on, don't be shy.
No, this is fun.
But honestly, it's a normal cod, but it has that black cod texture and...
Yeah? You
Are
digging?
you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I have a question for you. Is there anything else left on your London bucket list?
On the bucket list.
The thing is, because there's 16,000 restaurants here,
Yeah.
I think you could eat in a new restaurant every single day of the year.
Yeah.
And then you could start again the next year.
Yeah.
With all new restaurants.
Yeah.
I think we sort of like to hear more testimony from like the people we trust.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, we'll go check it out.
Right. A
There's
little screening process.
Yeah, there's some people who are like, we'll go to the opening of an envelope, right? They're like, oh yeah, let's just go. Whereas we're a bit more like, is it good? Is it good? Okay, we'll go see. Oh, we'll go see.
How did you guys find out about this place?
This was just hearing about it on the grapevine.
I'm in my feelings right now. The way this cod cheek tastes so good.
Also in London, you don't have, it's an old city. City, right? So you have, parts of Soho and stuff where the restaurants are tiny. So you have places like Paradise, Kiln, Cricket, like I mentioned earlier, where you only got like 20 people in there or something. And some restaurants just sat around the open kitchen. There's like a really exciting, really innovative concept in that space, but you're not rubbing shoulders with hundreds of people.
Right.
You're not in that big sort of like open style restaurant. You feel like you've found something very intimate.
More personable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super great for dates.
Hey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Chelsea tart? Oh, yes.
Thank you. So
I
this
saw
is
them cutting this, and I was like,
Yeah.
I really hope it's coming to
with
this
the
table.
hot knife, you blow
Yeah.
torches to get that extra crisp line. Attention
you
to
very much.
detail.
Boy.
Thank you. So this is their Chelsea tart with milk ice cream. This is Chelsea tart made with whey, and the whey comes from a very nearby cheese factory.
Okay.
And so the whey is just like a byproduct that they'd normally bin, but one of the guys cycles it here every day, rain or shine, and they use that to make this beautiful Chelsea tart. Super caramelly, super sweet, but
You know what though? I want to say congrats to both of you, and thank you guys so much. And yeah, I'll be following Topjaw for definitely some guides and tips.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was lovely to meet you,
Because I
Tyrone.
like the way in which you choose things. I like that process. I can trust that. It's more like a friend being like, hey, we actually tried this and like it, and yeah, I can dig that.
thank you.
Yeah.
It takes us a lot longer to do because we could just go and bang a TikTok out on our phone, but we're doing bigger productions, so our films are more sporadic than the average Instagrammer.
Love
Go
it.
on.
Yeah, when we get in here.
Yeah.
This is just like.
Have you got a bit of ice cream? You've got to get a bit of ice
get a
cream,
lot.
sorry. You have to get a bit of ice cream.
This is amazing, man.
And that concludes.
Yeah, great, eh?
Are you kidding me? Do you know what my mouth feels like right now? This is heaven. This is unreal.
It's so good.
Wow, 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 wow. Like the video? Then hit the button, or better yet, drop us a comment. Then check out our latest videos here. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting the button here for more celebrity interviews and entertainment news.